I'm going to teach you how to train your Pokemon to be absolutely unstoppable, starting now. Hey, welcome to the channel. My name is Just Weavile, and today I'm going to be walking you through how to EV train your Pokemon. Now, there are two methods to EV train your Pokemon in this game. The first one's the one you've probably already heard about. It's basically just buy the vitamins from the shop. So you got your protein, HP up, iron, zinc, special attack, etc. You can get them from the Nurse Joy at the Pokemon Center. They're about $5,000 each, I believe. Yeah, 5,000 Poké-Dollars is what they are each. So they're quite expensive. I don't actually personally like this EV training method. The reason being is that you're constantly doing the Z-A Battle Royale to grind as much money as you can because of how expensive the vitamins are, and you end up spending a whole night's worth of money on like 2 Pokemon. Whereas this next method is definitely my favorite by far. It's a lot quicker, you can get it all done a lot more quicker, and you can do 5 Pokemon at the same time potentially. So the first thing you're going to need is the power items. As you can see right here, you have the power weight, which actually gives you an extra 8 HP EVs to whichever Pokemon that you take out. Power Bracer does the same thing for attack, Power Belt does the same thing for defense, Power Lens does the same thing for special attack, Power Band does the same thing for special defense, and the Power Anklet does it for speed. Now you may have noticed I have 5 of each of these, and I'll get to that in shortly, but if you want to get one of these, make sure you're doing all the side quests. I would recommend doing all the side quests before you even start EV training anyway. It's a really fun game. Obviously, you want to get it done. You want to do everything, surely. Either way, with just one of these items each, you can fully EV train a single Pokemon in minutes. Now, I'm not going to go over the basics of what EVs are. I'm sure if you've clicked on this video, you must recognize the term and already understand how they work. If not, then I do apologize, but there are plenty of other videos explaining what effort values are. So the first thing you're going to do is you want to get one of your Pokemon to join your party. Now, this can be any Pokemon you want, obviously. I'm going to take a Numel, for example, right here. This is a nice shiny Numel that I found the other day. And as you can see, if you press on the stat screen there, if you press R down, it changes. And obviously, there's no effort values been put into this Numel yet. Hence why there's that little tiny hexagon in the middle hasn't like protruded any spikes. So what we're going to do is we're going to, first of all, we'll do HP this time. I'm going to do a HP build. And naturally, we're going to apply the power weight. So the way this works is it's all about the wild zones. Each wild zone has a set amount of Pokemon, and Pokemon themselves give off EVs when you defeat them in battle. It just so happens that a lot of the wild zones have a bunch of Pokemon with the same EV yield all together at once. So for HP, the EV training location I would recommend is Wild Zone 12. This is because Snorunt gives you 1 HP EV and Go-Goat gives you 2. You can easily find out which Pokemon gives you what EVs by looking online. Just search the name of the Pokemon and the EV yield is usually at the top under their name, etc. So don't think you're limited to just this Wild Zone 12. Have a look around, see if there's any Pokemon that, you know, can give off HP EVs, just Google it. For example, I know Slowpoke gives you 1 EV and a HP as well. So we'll just go over the other stats that you can boost right now. Let's go on to attack stat. So I would recommend Wild Zone 13, and the reason for that is because you see all those Pokemon on that list, except from the Vivillon. All of those Pokemon except Vivillon give you attack EVs. In fact, they all give you 2, except from Phantom and Cypher, who give you 1. Alternatively, a really good choice for attack EVs is going to also be Wild Zone 8. As you can see, looking at this image, pretty much every Pokemon on there gives you attack, except from the Numel. For defense, we're going to go to Wild Zone 14. In this area, you can find Onix, Aron, and Lairon, as you can see on screen, and they all give you defense EVs. Lairon is the only one that gives you 2. And as you know, if you've been in there, Aron and Lairon are very common. You could also go to Wild Zone 2, as they do have Kakoonas in there, which do give you 2 defense EVs. So for special attack EVs, you're going to want to go to Wild Zone 17 over here, which everyone has nightmares about, I'm sure, because of the absolutely massive amount of Pyros in there that jump on you the second they see you. However, Pyro give off +2 special attack EVs, and there's a lot of them there. If you can take them all out in one Earthquake, then you've just EV trained your Pokemon like a quarter of the way in one turn. You also get Lampent up there on the roof at night time only, and they give you +2 special attack as well. If you want an easier one, you can go to Wild Zone 4 up here and farm Ghastlies. Ghastlies are the only ones that give you special attack out of those 6 Pokemon. For special defense EVs, you're going to want to go down to the sewers, because Skrelp and Dragalge both give you special defense EVs, and so does Goomy. Alternatively, you could also go to Wild Zone 18 during the daytime and get on the roof, because there are Swablu's and Alterias up there which give you special defense. Finally, we have the speed stat, which I'm going to take you to Wild Zone 3 on. Reason being is because Esper Pikachu and the fletchlings that you find in there. And I know fletchlings aren't on the list there on the screen, but fletchlings do appear there. Specifically, the alpha one that's on top of the tower. Alternatively, you can go back to the beginning and go to Wild Zone 1, where every Pokemon there gives you speed EVs except from the Scatterbug and the Mareep. Yes, that's right, the Weedle is speed despite the Kakuna being defense. That is just how the game works, unfortunately. It's not very consistent in some Pokemon's evolution chains. So back on track, obviously I'm going to be EV training a Numel in this video. I'm only going to EV train it in one stat because obviously I don't want to waste your time watching me EV training in two stats. I think you'll get the message just from the one time. So naturally here we are at Wild Zone 12. Now there is some details I do need to tell you why we do this. First, just bring Pokemon that have a priority move. You're going to want to take out a lot of these Pokemon as quick as possible. Now the only downside to EV training this way, and there is our Snorunts over there by the way, and the Go-Goats. As you can see, I'm just going to go for an Aqua Jet real quick with my Feraligatr, take it out, and that's going to give us about 9 EVs in health. And as you can see, Snorunts, they're very abundant now. You can go for a different attack if you can reach it, of course. As there we go, and we're going to be taking these Pokemon out very quickly. Now, the only downside to this one is once that Abomasnow notices you, everything else starts to join in. So you can see what I mean when I say it's pretty hectic. Now, Alphas do not give you more EVs, as far as I'm aware, than you would from a regular Go-Goat. However, that Abomasnow is very close. The game just cut to daytime right in the middle of that, so I've been saved. Anyway, back on target, like I said, Go-Go is one of them Pokemon that you can use to take out and get some HP EVs. It's nice and simple. I would recommend just going and taking out every single Pokemon that you can see that gives the EV yield you need. For example, Go-Go and Snorunt. It seems I've diminished the entire supply of those. Now that we've defeated all the Pokemon giving you HP EVs, it's time to check how we've done. Now, if you go into the pause menu here, check on your Numel's summary page, press down on your D-pad to go down to the stat page, and then press the R stick down, like so, and you'll see how many HP EVs you've got. Ideally, that spike wants to reach the end. Now, the main downside to doing this method is that once you've taken out all the Pokemon that give you the EV yield, you have to wait 3 minutes, which to me isn't a lot of time to wait, but obviously TikTok brain what is the thing. So it might seem a bit unbearable to you, but you just wait 3 minutes and all the Pokemon will start respawning back into the field. But I think you get the gist of it. Just wait 3 minutes, they respawn, KO them all, come out, check how many EVs you've got. Now, just as a pro tip, when you're EV training your Pokemon, if you've ran out of Pokemon you can KO and you want to do something to pass the time, what you can do is, for example, with Numel, in this instance, we're also going to be training in Special Attack, which means if we get a Pokemon that gives us Special Attack EVs and defeat it, it doesn't matter because we were going to EV train that stat in the first place. I just want to add to that pro tip that even though you're attacking a Pokemon with an EV yield of like 2 Special Attack, that doesn't mean your power item will give you another 8 Special Attack. You have to wear the specific power item. It's not it doesn't change per stat. So if I defeat a power on here, I'll get 2 Special Attack EVs and I'll get 8 HP EVs. So instead of just fighting the one stat that I can do, I'm just fighting all the stats I can do. And as you can see, there's a lot of Pyros there. So the best way to do this, really, in my opinion, is to go in with your Feraligatr or whatever you're going to use. If you can Mega Evolve, it's going to make a world of difference here. And now just go in here, go for an Earthquake or something. It's going to have a long reach whilst you're Mega Evolved, and you're going to easily take these things out. Granted, they're also going to do a number to you, but that is just unfortunately part of the game right now. There we go. That's both of them two taken out. We've got 2 more Pyros to go. Let's go ahead and take these ones out as well. A single Aqua Jet will do the job with my... I don't know how I feel about Mega Feraligatr, I'm not gonna lie. Now, if you go back to your summary page, as you can see, our HP bar has gone up. Back in Scarlet Violet, you had to go into a battle sequence for every individual Pokemon, and it did take a lot of time. However, now that it's all real time in the overworld, you can literally take out 10 Pokemon that are grouped together, for example, the Pyros, with 1 Earthquake, and you've just EV trained your stat way more. You're saving literally like 10s and 20 minutes at least per Pokemon. Okay, I'm back in Wild Zone number 12, and as you can see, the Snorunts have returned because I spent my 3 minutes taking out Pyros, etc. Also, just a side note, Wild Zone 11 has Stunfisk as well as Slowpoke. They both give you EVs and HP. You'll know when you've done EV training in HP and all the other stats because not only will the points be all the way to the top, but there will be little sparkles around the stat name. Now, as I said at the beginning, you can get more power items than the ones that you get for free. So despite not having to pay a penny to EV train your Pokemon if you really don't want to, there is the option of buying more equipment. So first, we'll head into this place, which I can never pronounce the name of. I'm going to go over here to this counter and talk to this lady here. And in exchange for Mega Shards, we can buy these power items. As you can see, there are 180 shards each. I have got, one's on Numal, so that's why it says I've got 4 in my bag. But all the rest, obviously, I've got 5. And the great thing about this being 5 of them is because obviously you've got your one Pokemon that's going to be attacking everything, which doesn't need EV training. And then you could have more Pokemon in your party with the same power item on, doing the exact same thing, getting HP EVs. Having more Pokemon in your party being EV trained does not reduce the amount of EVs you get on each Pokemon by any means. I've seen that question being around before. Just simply put them in your party, put the item that you want to train them with, the power, the weight, bracer, anklet, whatever, on the Pokemon, and simply go to the area and you can fully EV train 5 Pokemon within like what, 20 minutes max? Whereas if you grinded for money, you'd probably be able to EV train 1 or 2, maybe 3 at a push, considering how expensive the vitamins are. I'm not saying it's not a viable way to EV train your Pokemon. It is obviously a lot quicker once you've bought the vitamins. I personally, like I did with Scarvy, I didn't like the whole grinding for money thing. It gets tedious and repetitive. Plus, this is quicker, and it means I can get these Pokemon on the battlefield in the Z-A Royale straight away. Okay, that's it for the guide. Hopefully that explained everything to you. If you do have any questions, any further questions I didn't cover in the video, then please just jump in the comment section and let me know. I will do my best to reply to you straight away. And also, if you did find the tutorial useful, feel free to subscribe. We upload Z-A content hopefully every single day, to be honest with you. We're mainly doing the Battle Royale online, showcasing different Pokemon, specifically the Mega Evolutions at the moment, and seeing them shine in battle. Alright, with that being said, I'll leave you to it. Get EV training already.